Praise God. Does anybody have that joy in the house tonight? Do you feel the joy? Thank you, Sister Megan, for ushering in the presence of God in this place. Thank you for the anointing. Thank you for sharing the joy. That is the witness of Jesus Christ right there. Amen, amen, amen. Wow. Well, she's better than me. Brother Brandon looked over and he said, you should have went first. And I think he was right. My goodness. I don't have much to add to that. And I'm not going to keep you at all. I'm going to read a scripture here, and I'm just going to take a few minutes, and we're going to see what the Holy Ghost does here tonight. I hope I don't ruin it. I hope I don't mess it up, what's already going. Hallelujah. Real quick, Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. And we're going to read until just about halfway through verse 19. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto you, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. And I will give unto thee, what she spoke about, the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And I'm going to stop right there. But that's a question that every man, woman, boy, and girl will come in contact with at some point in their life. They're going to have to look somebody in the face and answer the question of who they believe Jesus is and what they believe Jesus can do for them. Is there somebody in this house that Jesus was something to you and that you can stand with a boldness and say, I know who he is. I feel the joy within my spirit. There's no question about what I believe and who I think Jesus is. He's the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the Almighty. He's the beginning and he's the ending and he's everything in between. He is God Almighty. From the text there, it seems pretty apparent that there was obviously a lot of chatter going on amongst the people of that region, wondering who Jesus was. It's not a whole lot different than what we experience today. People are still talking about who is this man, Jesus, 2,000 years later. One man wrote it like this. He said, all the armies that ever marched, all the navies that ever sailed, all the parliaments that ever sat, all the kings that ever reigned put together have not affected the life of man on this earth as much as that one solitary life of Jesus Christ. I just want to remind you tonight that you are a part of something that's eternal. You're a part of something that began 2,000 years ago, and its influence still reaches 2,000 years later. Is there a life that can say the church affected me? Is there a life that can say the gospel affected me? It changed who I am. It changed who my family was. It changed where I came from, and it gave me a future, a hope, and a joy of salvation. Do you love the Lord tonight? I love him. This attitude that Peter had, this courageous and this boldness that he stood up with, upon that attitude, Jesus looked at him and he said, I'm going to build my church on that right there. I just want to have that same boldness because I believe today that Jesus is continuing to build the church on an attitude of courage, on an attitude of boldness that looks the world in the face, that looks their troubles in the face and says, but I know who Jesus is. I don't have any questions about where my faith is. I don't have any questions about where my next step might be because my hope is in God Almighty. So I just want to remind you tonight, and this is my title, you're part of God's unmovable force. You're part of something that can't be changed. stop Christians from worshiping and scriptures to be destroyed. And it was in the 1700s that a French man by the name of Voltaire stood up and he said, 10 years after I'm gone, Christianity is not even going to exist anymore. But let me tell you, 50 years after he died in 1778, the Geneva Bible Society began to use his own home and his own printing press to produce stacks of Bibles. What the Lord said will never pass away doesn't change. He said, this rock that I'm building my church on, it's not going to change. It's not going to be moved. The gospel doesn't change. It still takes the gospel to get what we have in the house tonight. It's not changed. I'm thankful that I serve a God that doesn't change with cultures. He doesn't change with mindsets and the new philosophies that enter. Here we are in 2020. It's here. And it means that there's going to be new philosophies and there's going to be new religious thoughts that come in and try to attack the church. But I'm a part of something that's not changing. I'm a part of something that I know works and that I know lasts. I want you to know, no matter what comes your way this year, you got through last year, and it was a tough one for some of us, and it was a change for a lot of us, but you got through that one because of where your feet were planted on the church, in the kingdom, and you have the hope of the gospel living inside you. So whatever 2020 brings, keep that same mindset that I'm firmly planted. I'm like the tree that's by the water. I'm right there. My roots run deep in this thing, and I want to remind the enemy, you're not moving me. You're not moving Calvary United Pentecostal Church out of Denton, Texas. This is going to be a hub of salvation, of hope, of joy, and peace in the name of Jesus. We still believe in the Word of God. We still believe in the gospel, which holds the secrets to our revivals. It holds the secret to your overcoming power. You have the answer to all the questions that this world is asking. You've got a hold of it. And like she said, when you've got it and that joy's on the inside, you can't help but want to run and tell somebody, I got what you're looking for. I've been where you're at, but I've got joy, I've got hope, and I've got peace in the name of Jesus. I'm closing this thing out. She did a good enough job. You don't need to hear much more from me. But we live in a world of change, in a world of uncertainty. And we look at the news and we see what's going on, and there's a world out there that's frightened by what they see. But times of uncertainty to the world are simply times of certainty for the church. He has made promises that we have seen come to pass for over 2,000 years, 6,000, 8,000 years, if you go back all the way to the beginning of Genesis. And you've witnessed it come to pass, word for word, specific prophecies that have come to pass. So I'm believing that when he said, I'm coming soon, that he really is coming soon. So look, when everybody else gets afraid of what's going on out there, say, I've got a hope. He's coming back for me. There's some things that I'm not going to have to put up with or deal with. I don't have to be afraid of what's going on in the world because I've got a promise of an eternity with him. Let's let 2020 not be the year that our flame dies out. Let's not let it be the year that we get lulled to sleep by promises of peace and hope in other places, but let it be the year that I get so rooted in the gospel and I get so rooted in the truth of God that I become one with his unmovable force. If we would just get a hold of what God has given us, if we would get a hold of that, I want to ask you tonight, let's go ahead and stand. I want to ask you tonight, we've been encouraging here and we've tried to challenge you somewhat, but now the onus is on us to make sure that as I move into 2020, that I am checking the oil in my lamp, that I am making sure that it's full, that it's not low, that when he returns, I'm going to be one of those that my lamp is shining bright. He said he's coming back in all the earth. Can anybody say He's going to find me with my lamp full? He's going to find me on fire for the kingdom. He's going to find me unwavering in truth and in righteousness. If we could, let's enter 2020 with the boldness of Peter. Let's enter 2020 and let's be those rocks that He can build upon. Each one of us tied together, unified, one body, one mind, one spirit. There's no lukewarm with Him. You're either hot or you're cold. But I believe He wants every one of us in this room tonight to have that fire burning on the inside of us. If you will tonight, if you just felt like maybe you're just a little bit low, and come back down to this altar tonight. Renew that fire that you had in the beginning. Renew that joy that you had in the beginning. It's available for you. There's not one person that God is going to exclude from what He's got, His plan for you. He's got joy. He's got promise. He's got peace for you. In Jesus' name.